Escapebound is the story of an 18,000-mile road trip that I took in the wake of a divorce. I borrowed $8,000 from my parents to buy a pop-up trailer. And I think a lot of people are confused by that because if they know the backstory, they know that my husband and I had successful businesses. We lived in beautiful homes. We traveled all over the world. So why would I need to borrow $8,000 from my parents to buy a pop-up trailer? I think people make one of two assumptions. Number one, maybe I was the one who left the marriage. Maybe I had an affair. Or number two, he was a son of a gun and hired some rock star attorney and they took me to the cleaners. Neither of those scenarios is true. Number one, I wasn't the one who left the marriage. Number two, I was the one who crafted the spreadsheet that dictated the financial terms of our divorce. And on my own spreadsheet, I did not include a valuation for the business that I'd spent 5 years helping to build. And I didn't include a calculation for the contents of our luxury apartment, which I left behind. And I did not include alimony. Now you might wonder, why in God's name would I do that after 23 years of marriage? And I will admit that in the months following the divorce, I was asking myself the same question. But the answer was actually simple. I didn't feel like I deserved it. I didn't feel like I had earned it. It didn't feel like it was mine. Now, the people who know me are probably scratching their heads because they know that I'm a really hard worker. And I'm a super high achiever. I graduated high school in 3 years. I graduated college in 3 years with a degree in international relations with an Eastern European focus. And I actually traveled behind the Iron Curtain with cultural exchange groups like tours during the time of the Cold War. In my mid-20s, I ended up working as a product manager, as the youngest product manager in one of the largest filtration companies in the United States, water filtration companies. And I ended up buying a duplex in my mid-20s without having to have anyone else co-sign on the loan. Then when my husband and I got married, of course, I helped with all of our business projects. We worked on many different businesses together, and we always worked together as a team, even after we had 3 little kids in 4 years, which was complete chaos. And then, so basically, even when we had Adventure Bound, which was the store that we had when we went through the divorce, I was in charge of all of the purchasing for the largest brands like Patagonia. So I would go to the line presentations, I would do the pre-season orders, and I was also responsible for entering every single item in the store into the store's inventory management system. For the first 2 years that we were open, nobody else could even print a price tag because nobody else knew how the inventory management system worked. And that was in addition to like all the soccer shuttles and all of the trips to Buffalo for my daughter's voice lessons. And I was responsible for all the parent-teacher conferences. And I was responsible for all of the meals and keeping the house clean. And no matter what I did, it was never enough. Now, I used to finish that sentence with the words, for him. It was, no matter how much I did, it was never enough for him. And it took an ayahuasca ceremony for me to realize, no matter how much I did, it was never enough for me. Because somewhere along the line, I had developed this idea that I needed to earn the beautiful life that I was living. And the more blessed I felt, the more gratitude I felt, the harder I felt like I had to work until I was like working myself into the ground. You see, I was just incapable of receiving love. So if nobody has ever told you this, I'm going to tell you a secret. You are everything you were ever meant to be. You already are. There is nothing more that you need to be or do in order to be worthy of feeling financially safe and secure. There is nothing more that you need to be or do in order to be worthy of the dream that's in your heart. There is nothing more that you need to be or do in order to be worthy of the love that is surrounding you right now in this moment, and any love you want to attract into your future. There is nothing more you need to be or do in order to be worthy of happiness. So I'm going to say this again, and this time I want you to listen to these words and let them permeate the very fabric of your being. You are everything you were ever meant to be. You already